Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Naveen, and today I'll be taking you through what to expect, how to prepare, and why should you prepare the way you should prepare about CAT 2023. So, CAT 2023 is almost 11 months away from now. So, if you really want to start the preparation for it, you should start as soon as possible. Normally, people would say that around 3 to 4 months of preparation is good enough. Well, that is accurate. But for those 3 to 4 months, if you fail or if you do not reach the expectation that you are targeting, then you may need more time. So if you want to go slow and patient approach, so that it doesn't burden you with your college exams or college studies or maybe your project at your work, you should start the preparation right away. If you start from the month of January, you would not have to put a lot of effort every day or every week. You can put certain number of hours, but as the time shrinks, the number of hours will increase, and that will put a hell lot of burden. And with the amount of content that is available right now as compared to what it was 3 years ago, there is so much to cover, right? So we need a lot of time for those. So the agenda for today's session is what all things are there in CAT, and then why do we need to reach a certain score, and then how can we actually reach there. So we are going to look into all the details of CAT, and then we will be solving some of the questions of previous year CAT. Okay. So starting from the first part. So what are the CAT modalities, as in, when does the exam happen, what is the pattern, all of that. Yeah. Hi Dhyanaveshwar, hi Kumarasan, hi Pratyush. 3 month sprint more effective than consistent 11-month preparation. Pratyush, it actually depends from person to person. I will not say that 3 month sprint is a good thing. It's like, suppose if you have to submit an assignment 1 week later. So there are 2 types of people. One person, actually there are 3 types of people. The first type, which are very rare, is you will get done with it today itself or max by tomorrow, so that you are completely free of the task, and you do not have that anxiety, right? So that you cover it beforehand. The second type of people are that they will be dividing the entire work into proper 6-7 parts. They will complete today's part by today, tomorrow's part by tomorrow, so that they do not have that much of burden. And majority of the people, especially engineers, they will not do anything until the last hour. Most probably, if suppose on 7th of January, if you're supposed to submit your project, the student will wake up at early morning on 7th of Jan itself and will complete the work. Well, you can complete some work given to you if you knew exactly what you have to put in. Suppose you have no idea, and when you wake up at 7th morning and you realize that there is so much of research you have to do, or let's say there is a printout that you need to carry, that is a must. You won't be able to do it, right? That's exactly what CAT is going to be. So the sprint of 3 months is good, but only when you have nothing else to do. Okay. And academically, you have been kind of average or above average, then 3 months sprint is good, or 4 months even. But with people going to college, or let's say with people who are working, they will not get enough time on weekdays. Most of the time that they will have will be on weekends, and then weekends pe party bhi karni hai, weekends pe family functions bhi attend karne hai. We are going to fall sick every now and then as well. So all of those things considered, we will not have enough time. So the best approach is divide the entire thing into, in a planned way, and aram se karo, so that even if you don't work on a particular day, it's okay. You have so many days left, right? See, MBA is, when you are done with your MBA, you are going to be a manager. And manager is a person who plans and manages things, including your studies and including everything else. So the best approach will be slow and steady. And in my past 2 decades of experience, I have seen students performing much better when they divide their entire study over a span of around 7 to 8 months, not 4 months. 4 months people are, that preparation is good enough, and it's actually very good enough for people who are attempting CAT maybe second or third time, not for the first timers. Okay, Rajas, that's good. If you are IPMAT aspirant, then the same is applicable to you, because IPM is also all about it's very similar to CAT. It's of a lower difficulty level, but it's very similar. IIMs make the questions, so the level of the questions are almost same, right? Yeah. Hi, Harshad. Okay, Pratyush. I hope that answers your question, that slowly, steadily, you will be able to reach there. Especially people who are very anxious about things that are about to happen, uske liye dikkat hogi. Okay. So, CAT 2023 notification, it's going to be released by July end. Okay, 2023, of course. And it will be conducted on the last Sunday of November 2023. The date is November 26, so you already know the date. Even though the CAT has not released it yet, but that's what the IIMs do. It's always on the third Sunday of November month. Based on the previous year trends, IIM Lucknow is going to conduct CAT 2023. Okay, and it will be in online mode. 99.9% chances are that it will be online mode. I don't believe that CAT is going to go back to offline mode. Okay. So this is a sample, an example as to how the notification looks like on their website, iamcat.ac.in. Now, if we talk about this year's paper, CAT 2022, so VARC, there were 24 questions. Out of which 19 were MCQs and 5 were TITA. TITA here stands for type in the answer, as in there are no options, so we'll have to type in the value. And only those questions wherein the answers are in value, you have those questions in TITA. Okay. Second section is your DILR, which consisted of 20 questions, and there were 15 MCQs, 5 TITA, and QA 22 questions, 14 MCQs, 8 TITA. Section-wise time limit was 40 minutes. Marking scheme is +3 for MCQ if you make the answer correct, -1 for if you make it wrong, and 0 marks for non-attempted. For a TITA question, the same thing is +3 if you answer it correctly. There is no negative marking if you answer it wrong, and no negative marking or no marking when you don't attempt it. Okay. The time limit, I believe everybody must be aware that each section has a time limit of 40 minutes. So you have an overall of 120 minutes, which is nothing but 2 hours to attempt the exam. Now, if you think about CAT 2023 pattern, this is the expected one. Excuse me. In VARC, the number of questions may be 19 to 21. Non-MCQ is going to be 3 to 5. Total questions may be 24 to 26. Similarly, for DILR, 15 to 18, 5 to 6. Why is there a range of questions? Why don't we have specific questions? Because looking at the previous 15, 18, 20 years trend, we have seen that after a certain number of years, CAT changes its pattern. Pattern as in, to a certain extent, level of difficulty of questions, and then it changes the duration of each section. So once it used to be, a 3-hour duration, 1 hour for each section, then it was changed to 40 minutes, then it was back to 3 hours, then it was again 40 minutes. So there is a probability that each section will become 60 minutes, and if you have more time, the number of questions also increase. So you may have number of questions anywhere from 66 to 76. There had been times when there were up to 100 questions. Okay, the breakup of 100 used to be 34 for VARC, 32 for LRDI, and another 34 for QA. And this was a 3-hour paper. Okay. The marking scheme will not change, that's for sure. They're not going to change as +4 and -1. Because +4 and -1 gives an opportunity for students to actually do guessworks, but CAT really doesn't want to want students to do it, so the marking scheme will be less than the number of options. So, so 4 options are there, so +3 will be the marking scheme. Okay. Now, the dates. CAT 2023 notification will come out somewhere on 30th or 31st of July. So mark your calendar, keep an eye on the notification. Before that, do not expect. Okay. Sometimes the notifications get delayed because of one reason or the other. For example, during COVID times, the notification were released later. The exam also happened a bit later. In the case of recession also, way back in the year 2008-9, same thing happened. So unforeseeable circumstances, the dates may go a little bit here and there, maybe delayed by a week or so, but most probably it's going to be 30th or 31st of July, not before that. Then in the next 5 days, the registration will begin. So the notification is out and the registration starts. What is registration? So in the registration, you will have to go to the website of CAT, which is CATIIM. .ac.in. Sorry, not CAT IM, it's IM CAT. IM comes first, later on CAT. So it's IIM CAT AC.in. And when you go to this website, there will be a form where you have to fill all the details, your profile, your academic background, if you have work experience about that. You have to fill your preferred city, and then you will have to do your payment. And once the payment is acknowledged from their side, then it's going to be the registration gets completed. 2 things to be very, very careful about while filling up the form. First thing is, do not make any mistake. So if they ask you what is your 10th CGPA or percentage, please take out the mark sheet, calculate it there, and then put it. Don't rely on your memory, because many a times students have put in a different percentage of CGPA, and that has caused trouble for them. So, a silly mistake ke karan, don't make that. Don't lose a year. Better, once you are filling the form, ask your sibling, friend, or your parents to actually verify it, because if you are making a mistake, you won't be able to figure it out. Proofreading karwao. Proofreading hamesha dusron se karwate hain. There is a reason behind it, right? And second thing is, please see that the payment has gone through. The payment is going to be online, right? Card, credit card, net banking, UPI, all of those are acceptable. So once you get the acknowledgement, and if it says registration done, then you should be like, okay, fine, done. Because sometimes the payment doesn't go through, so you'll have to wait for 4 days, 5 days, a week's time. You may have to sometimes mail or call them to let them know that registration did not happen. So from their end, they remove that failed registration, the payment thing, not registration, the failed payment, and then they will generate a link so that you can do it. Normally, it automatically happens, but if it doesn't happen in the next 5 or 7 days, once you are done with it, you will have to do it. Now, the registration starts here. The registration is not going to be for just 5 days. They give you enough days to complete the registration. So you don't have to hurry, but make sure you don't do it again on the last day, because on the last day, there are hundreds and thousands of people doing it. So hota kya hai? Website server crash ho jata hai. So you sit at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock is the last time. Let's say if you have to fill, generally it's 5 p.m. But suppose 12 o'clock midnight mein hona hai, you sit at 10 o'clock, okay, let's fill the form. Server is crashed. 12 khatam ho gaya. Phir sunwai nahi hai na. If you're going to tell them that server crashed, I couldn't fill, the last moment kyun kar rahe the? Okay. The last day to fill the CAT 2023 form is going to be up to September. So you have almost 1.5 months until you can do all of that. Okay. And sometimes means almost every year, what we have seen, CAT gives you certain window or certain dates wherein you can go back and rectify the errors you have made. ये CAT करता है पर जरूरी नहीं है करेगा. It's completely their choice, right? It's not mandatory. So if you make a mistake, yes, there may be a possibility in the future next month that they may open a window where you can rectify your mistakes. But उस पे rely करके गलती मत form fill. Fill the form once and make sure it's all correct. Okay. Then in the month of October, around 6 to 7 weeks before the exam, they will release a sample mock from their side, which will be accessible on the site itself. Once you log in, वो mock दे सकते हो. Now, though that mock is going to give you an idea, especially for people who are going to write CAT for the first time, as to how the paper looks, what are the level of questions, okay? If it's a proper entire mock, you will also get to know how many questions you can expect. It's not necessary that they give you only 10 questions in each section, so 10 questions aega. It may be more. And if they give you 30 questions, it doesn't mean 30 questions are going to be there. Okay, so it keeps on changing. Now, CAT admit card download will start from 26th. This window has missed. Okay, and you can download the admit card up to up to the day of the exam, a couple of days before the exam, and 26th of November is going to be your CAT date. So ये आपका consider करो शादी का दिन है. Your parents have given you the ultimatum. This is the day you are supposed to get wed. Okay. So before that, you have to search. See, there must be a dream person whom you want to get married to, right? Here, dream person is an analogy for the college that you want to go to. Okay. If the dream person doesn't, you can't get the person you dream about, or the person that you're targeting, then of course you will look somewhat similar, or worst case wo bhi nahi achievable hai, then you will go a little lower, right? Suppose you want a person who is working and earning well. If you don't get that match, to thoda niche aa jao. Not working well, but at least working. Same thing happens with MBA exams or any other exam. So you target a college, you prepare according to that, you build your profile according to that. If you reach there, great. That's like dream come true. But if you don't reach there, you will have certain lower alternatives, or an alternative equivalent to that, but not that brand. So your target should always be the top, so that अगर वहां तक नहीं पहुंचे तो उससे थोड़ा नीचे तक भी पहुंचेंगे. If my target is going to be at a percentile, let's say 80 percentile, so 80 percentile पे I will not get decent enough college. और 80 target ही है. What if I get less than that? If I get more than that, तो ठीक है. That's pure luck, right? But chances तो यही होते हैं. Whatever you target, you reach there or less than that. So this is the day of your wedding. You have 11 months to build your profile, to prepare yourself for the exam on the D-Day, and you have also to not just prepare for one exam, you have to prepare for a lot of different exams. Since we're talking about CAT, that is there, but there are a couple of more exams. For example, you have got IFT, you have got ZAT, the two next most important exams. Apart from that, you have got SNAP, you have got MyCAT, you have got TISNET, you have got MHCET. ठीक है, बहुत एग्जाम है, IBSAT. तो your target should always be these three exams at least. बहुत जरूरी है. Now the paper pattern of each of these three exams, they are different. The duration is different. The level of questions that come, they are different. The marking schemes are different. The number of sections are different. So बहुत different exams हैं. Okay. The basic thing being, each one of them will contain some 3 sections for sure. For example, English is there, which is known as VARC, verbal ability, reading comprehension. The second section is LRDI, logical reasoning, data interpretation, and the third one is QA, quantitative ability. ये 3 section हर exam में आते हैं. In some exams you also get GK. Okay, for example, in IFT and ZAT you get GK. IFT GK is inclusive, ZAT GK is not inclusive. You get another section in ZAT which is called decision making. So basic structure is same depending upon how high you want to rise. एक building इतना ऊंचा है, दूसरा building थोड़ा कम है, एक building बहुत ऊंचा है. ठीक है? Which exam is the toughest one? Depending upon what is the qualifying marks, I believe CAT is the toughest. Depending upon the level of questions, which exam is the easiest? IFT is the easiest among these 3. Depending upon qualifying marks, which one is the easiest? ZAT is the easiest because you don't have to score a lot in order to convert the best college that comes under ZAT. So you will come to know about this on your journey to CAT. Okay, you know, we are there to help you out with each of the colleges and exams, the pattern, the analysis of previous year paper, and all that. Let's talk about score versus percentile. Okay. So first से chance मिलता है registration wrong होता है तो हाँ श्रद्धा I believe I answered that. If you make any mistake in the form, they sometimes open the window. Sometimes means 9 out of 10 times they do that. ठीक है, पर उस पर रिलाई करके गलती नहीं करना, कोशिश करना सही हो जाए. Okay, so CAT 2022's results we are still collating. Okay, we are still getting the results, so we don't know the accurate one, so I have not included that. So CAT 2021 up to for the past 6 years, 2021 from 16 to 2021, if I look at CAT 2021, this is the most accurate, you know, relation analogy that we can draw, because we had exactly the same pattern as this year's CAT and most probably next year's CAT. बाकी तो ज़्यादा questions हुआ करते थे, right? So if you score 120 marks, you will get a 99.9 percentile. If you score 107 marks, it will be 99.5. 97 पे 99 आ जाता है, 71 पे 95 आ जाता है, 59 पे 90. Now, which percentile is better? Obviously, the best one is the better. But which percentile, if you get, you will get good number of calls. Suppose you don't want a brand value, you just want to get into an MBA college, a good MBA college. Then you have to score a 95 percentile at least. Now, a 71 marks is nothing but 24 questions correct. Assuming that you are not making any mistake. So 24 attempt kiye, out of how many questions? 66. Out of 66, if you attempt 24 and if each one of them is correct, then you will definitely score more than 95 percentile. And above 95 percentile, assuming that you clear the sectional cutoffs, you can expect calls from the CAPs, some of the new IIMs, who knows, maybe from Ahmedabad, or you know, you will not get MDIs or FMS which have very high cutoffs, couple of IITs, but you will get calls from IMI, IMT, FOR, TAPMI. तो कुछ colleges जो अच्छे वाले हैं उनमें आ जाएगा. A+, very rare. Okay. A 120 marks is 40 questions out of 66 questions. Okay. 40 questions out of 60 questions is like 60% of, you know, what total questions that you have to make sure that they are correct. Now, 40 questions out of 66 questions, very much different from how we are used to our college exams and school exams. College or school में क्या होता है? If there are 10 questions, you have to score all 10, as in make sure that all of 10 are correct, then only you will get 100% marks, or you will be the topper of the class, right? Most probably. पर CAT या किसी एग्जाम में ऐसा नहीं होता. You can see that if you make sure that you solve correctly even less than half of the questions, you will get a 95 percentile, जो कि काफी ज़्यादा है. Why is it so? Is it like the questions are way too difficult? No. It's because of the exam temperament. It's because of the types of questions asked. Questions are straightforward. The thing is, the concept used on those questions are the concepts that are not taught to us in our school. Most of them. We are taught the basics and we have forgotten all of it. सालों हो गए ना, 10th standard तक maths किया. And we knew what percentage is, ratio is, time, speed, distance questions we may have solved. We know what quadratic is, but the pure application of those questions are the types that we get, which are very different from what we have practiced since our school days. That's what makes the exam difficult. Also, the exam temperament. Some of you might be done with your exams, your college exams, and now you don't have a job in your hand and you want to get into an MBA college because you have got family pressure, friends pressure, peer pressure maybe. अब क्या होगा कि आप when you will be writing the exam or when you will be about to appear for the exam, so you will have this thing in your mind that if I don't clear this exam and if I don't get into an MBA college, my entire 1 year just got wasted. And if I prepare for the next year, that's another 1 year wastage. So life का 2 years waste हो जाएगा ऐसे. So ये temperament होता है. Some of you who are in job, who are working, you may not be very much happy with the kind of work you are doing or not happy with the kind of brand you are associated with. So you want to switch, or switch to ho nahi raha. It's not happening since COVID, and still recession and COVID both are going on right now to quite an extent. So that jump that you want, you're like, if I don't do it this year, then I'll have to again slog for the next 1 year. तो वो जो एक टेम्परामेंट है, माइंडसेट है कि ये नहीं निकला, then I have that 1 year waste that is going to happen, which will be a part of my life throughout. That's something that either push you to do better or it pulls you back. For most of us, it pulls us back because we are underconfident any day, right? Confident तो है ही नहीं, underconfident उल्टा है. So these two things are the reason why people are not even able to solve 40 questions out of 66 questions in 120 minutes. See, 120 minutes, 40 questions is like 3 minutes में एक question. 3 minutes बहुत टाइम होता है. On an average, I say. पर नहीं हो पाता. ठीक है? The reasons being these. Okay. Now, before you go and write your actual CAT exam, you need to do some, test runs. You will have to write mocks. Okay? So there are tons of mocks available, paid as well as free. Rely on paid ones more. Reason being, free ones ऐसे ही होता है. The level of questions are very different from what actual CAT gives. The paid ones are where the professionals, they sit down for hours and they make every question same level as that of CAT. Okay. So if you are scoring a 50 percentile in the mock, then in the actual CAT you can expect a jump of 20 percentile, or actual CAT में 70 percentile तक आ जाएगा. Good thing, right? And if you score a 90 percentile in your mocks, then only you can expect a 95 or 96 percentile in the actual exam. So like I said, if I take an average approach, my target is, let's say, 95 percentile. So this is the percentile I should expect in mocks that I will be writing. तो मेरा टारगेट 90 पहुंचने का. And 90 percentile won't happen with one mock. It won't happen with 5 mocks. Some of the people, they write up to 50, 60 mocks to reach there. Okay. So you write down the mocks, and then depending upon what all topics were there, what level of questions were there, you study. And once you study, then you again write the mocks. So it's not study and mocks, it's actually mocks first and then study, which is exact the opposite of how we prepare during our school and college. School, college में क्या होता था? We used to complete the syllabus, revise it couple of times, and then appear for the exam. ये competitive exam में, especially CAT के exam में, it won't work. Never work. People who are thinking that they will complete the syllabus and then write the mocks, others are writing the mocks, they are building strategy, they are going ahead. You will be stuck at level 0. And you will never be able to write a mock. Why? क्योंकि CAT का syllabus कभी complete नहीं होगा. Suppose you decide that you are going to write CAT in 2025. You have entire 2023, you have entire 2024, and you have 2025 up to November. You have 3 years almost, right? आप 3 साल भी बैठ लो, CAT का syllabus नहीं होगा cover. You will be able to cover all the topics, but you will never be able to cover all the varieties of questions. 3 साल में भी. You sit for 8 hours every day, not gonna happen. Okay? So, if you are actually thinking, I will complete the syllabus and write the mock, that time will never come. Okay? So, you write down the mock, think what all questions were there, which all topics were there, and then pick those topics from the books. If you have joined an online classroom or an offline classroom program, sit there, understand those topics and concepts, solve those questions more and more, practice them. And then when you go and write the mock and you come across such questions, make sure that you solve it. Then you will realize, okay, fine, I understood this topic because I was able to solve it correctly. ठीक है, syllabus complete करके it becomes very difficult. That's what 9 out of 10 students do though. They try to complete the syllabus and then write the mock, which is a blunder. And it's this stubbornness. No matter how much we tell them, they will still do it क्योंकि वो DNA में जा चुका है हमारे, right? So mock percentile, 90 percentile is a very good percentile to be scoring. Next comes in CAT analytics. As in what score section wise we needed in the last 4 years and what percentile will it get, because overall is not the only important thing. So if I look at CAT 22, we are still collating, so take these scores with a pinch of salt, and that's why there is so much of range. In VARC, you will get a 99.5 percentile if you score around 45 to 47. Okay, so this is more like an expectation. This is not real. The real part is 2021 क्योंकि इसका result अपने पास है. 2022 अभी भी students are giving the results, and CAT never releases, you know, at what score, what percentile was given. So 99 was at 38 to 40, 95 was 30 to 32. So this is our target, right? So 30 questions or 32 questions. So to make it simpler, can I say if I do 11 questions in VARC, I will reach a 95 percentile. Okay, and 11 questions, right? Okay. If I talk about LRDI, 95 milega, 20 to 24, 3 marks per question. That it is, right? So 8 questions करने पे आ जाएगा. If I solve 8 questions in LRDI, I'll get a 95 percentile. And if I look at CAT, another 8 questions. So 8 questions, and 11 questions. So this is going to be 16 plus 11, 27. So 27 questions will fetch you a 95 percentile in each section, right? With a breakup of 11, 8 and 8. But 27 questions would mean 81 marks. And what does 81 marks is going to give us in percentile overall? So 81 marks is going to give us an overall percentile much more than 95. We will be somewhere around 97, 98 overall. Actually यही होता है. Okay, when it comes to percentile section wise, if you get 90, 90, 90, then overall it won't be 90, it's going to be 94, 95 percentile. So not only section wise you will get 95 percentile, but overall you will get somewhere around 97 to 98 percentile as well, which is way more than we are targeting. So target कितने questions हैं? 27, 11, 8, 8. And is it like fixed? Fixed. If you are able to do this much, you will get this. Okay. Next is how to reach there, how to plan. So like I said, it's always better to study for a longer duration rather than to, just 4 months of preparation, because you're going to be time bound, and time bound preparation is the worst way of doing. You should always do quality work than quantity. So some students may ask how many hours of study is required every day. Depends from person to person. And if I tell you that you need to study, let's say 4 hours every day specifically for CAT, and in the 4 months you will be able to complete the syllabus, you will understand everything, you will get a decent percentile, not going to happen most probably. क्योंकि मैंने time bound कर दिया. Instead of that, if I bind it with respect to which topic should be covered by which particular date or day of the month or week of the month, then you will be able to cover major chunk of the syllabus within a certain time. How many hours you need to study? Nahi pata. So for example, I will decide one of these two things. You tell me which one is better. 4 hours I'm going to study today, or should I complete averages today? कौन सा better है? Obviously averages. Because if I complete a topic today, I'm like, okay, fine. Out of these 20 topics, 30 topics, one topic gets over today. But when I am studying for 4 hours, it's not necessary that I will be able to finish a topic. Now, when I'm trying to complete the topic averages today, it may take me 2 hours or it may take me 8 hours. तो ये तो भाई person to person depend करता है. So if you are a slow learner, if it takes you time to understand things, if you have not been good at maths, or let's say if you learn something and after a couple of hours you forget it, then you will have to go back and check things again. So that will be like a wastage of 50 minutes. Not wastage, of course, you're going to learn something. पर वो slow process में किसी को 8 hours भी लग सकता है. Right? So how many hours a topic takes? It's very difficult to actually, anybody can tell you, nobody can tell you actually. So if you complete it in 2 hours, great. Don't study because you have completed your plan, you have executed your plan, right? If you take 8 hours, तब भी आपको बुरा नहीं लगना है कि यार उससे अच्छा तो hourly कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि आपको topic complete करना है. So this is not the right approach. Topic wise, you should study. So let's assume that after 1st of Jan, 2nd Jan, say you take things seriously and you start preparing. So how should you begin? So in quant, you start with the basics and fundamentals, which is very important. Normally what happens is, or used to happen in school days, was whenever you used to look at a particular topic, we used to simply read it just for the sake of reading it. And then we used to focus more on the questions. इस competitive में ये नहीं चलेगा approach. When you are reading a particular topic, you should know exactly what that is. Not the definition. Don't learn it up. Nobody's going to ask you the definition. You should know what does that definition mean. You'll have to do a lot of hit and trials. You'll have to take a lot of sample examples and see how it works for these numbers, for other figures, and so on. Okay? Arithmetic and algebra dominates this section. Okay? So out of total questions, you can expect somewhere around 70% of questions from just these topics. पूरे quant में, ठीक है? And then start solving them in the 3 months. Why? Because normally the mocks of any institute, any place, it starts somewhere in the month of April and May. So when the mock starts, you should be prepared at least that much that you can go write the mock and solve some questions, no? If you can solve 70% of the questions, तो भैया 99 percentile तो अभी आना शुरू हो जाएगा just by doing 2 topics, right? So your target in quant should be arithmetic and algebra first. You should get done with it. In VARC, you should start reading editorials of newspapers. Which newspapers? If you're reading some local language newspapers, that is fine, but you have to improve your English. So get on with the Hindu, the Economist, read magazines like India Today, Business Today. Okay, you should read novels, not like Chetan Bhagat or Robin Sharma, not those, but better ones. Okay. In the case of DILR, you should start solving riddles and puzzles. And riddles and puzzles are available, hundreds and thousands of them. So you should know how to attempt a riddle or a puzzle, because LR is all puzzle. A very straight format type of puzzle, but puzzle hi hai wo. Okay? So first 3 months, you have to kind of build your ground. You have to build वो नींव बनानी है जिसपे आगे in the coming months you can solve more difficult questions, get stronger in your approach, build a better strategy. So concepts are very important here. For the next 3 months, April, May, and June, in quant, you should pick up the next 3 topics. So there are total 5 topics in quant. You've got arithmetic, algebra, you've got numbers, geometry, and modern maths. So first 2 topics we have covered in the first 3 months, and next 3 topics you will be able to cover in the next 3 months. Okay. In VARC, you will have to start reading the VA part. VA is non-reading comprehension. Parajumbles are there, fill in the blanks, grammar based, a bit of vocabulary. So don't pick up vocab books and start reading What Power Made Easy. ये सब नहीं ज़रूरत है. That is only important for those people who have no idea as to how English works, what are the meanings of certain words. जिनकी English बहुत poor है, उनके लिए वो सब है. If you can communicate with anyone in English, with even using broken English, you don't need What Power Made Easy. Okay? And in DILR, you will have to now start solving proper LRDI questions. अभी तो riddles and puzzles कर रहे थे from late शकुंतला देवी books और George W. Summers की books से. अब आप शुरू कर दोगे proper previous year papers, mocks, उसके questions solve करना. Okay? How many questions do you need to solve? Not in the month of April, June for DILR, but more like overall. So you have to solve around 250 to 300 sets of DILR. जिसमें से around 50 sets should be DI and the remaining 250 sets should be LR. Because LR dominates when it comes to CAT exam. Okay? In IFT and in SAT or other exams, equal weightage. पर CAT में LR ज़्यादा आता है. And DI is something that you can master on by solving 50 to 100 sets. Master हो जाते. Master मतलब not a single DI that you can't solve. But LR में to get the mastery, it's very difficult because it uses logic. And logic is something we are not good at. Next 3 months, July to September. Now, from July to September, you have to practice specific topics by taking sectional tests. Sectional tests क्या होता है? केवल VARC का एक टेस्ट होगा, केवल LRDI का एक टेस्ट होगा, केवल QA का एक टेस्ट होगा. So section का केवल टेस्ट दोगे, पूरा नहीं दोगे. Okay, only 40 minutes test. So you do that, and we have those those tests on our platform. So you are going to do those tests. Those are basic level, फिर थोड़ा advanced level, फिर उससे advanced level. So as you solve the tests, the level of difficulty of question increases, and to a certain point, you will reach, and beyond that, you will not be able to cross. So you would know where you stand and how much more you need to practice and what types of questions you need to practice more so that you cross that barrier, right? And if you talk about VARC, तो अच्छा ये अभी तो KLC का चल रहा है. This is not VARC exactly. तो अब ये this is not QA, this is including all the three. So the first one is using sectional tests that we have on our app. The next one is we provide you with a lot of recorded videos. Lot matlab overall in a season we provide you with what? 1,000 recorded videos. Okay, regarding exams, the analysis, the paper pattern, what questions can you expect, and then solving previous year papers as well. ये सब होता है. So it's like you watch 2 to 3 videos every day, then only you will be able to cover it. So you do that, and in those topics, in those videos, we also discuss how to attempt a certain level of question and how should you think, how should you proceed. और वो बार बार करने से it gets into your DNA and you get better, right? The third one is obviously practice mocks is very important. Okay, August may write 3 to 4 mocks. It means actually from the month of July, make sure that you write 1 mock every week. You should get used to it. Sitting for 2 hours continuous is also a difficult task, no, for us nowadays. 2 घंटे लगातार बैठना आसान नहीं अब. पहले था, स्कूल डेज में तो बहुत बैठ लेते थे या बैठा दिया जाता था. अब तो कोई नहीं बोलता. So you watch a reel for 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, then you move over to the next one. So, we can't concentrate for that long. And in CAT, we have to concentrate for 2 hours. And in ZAT, we have to concentrate for 3 hours, almost 3.5 hours. 3.5 घंटे लगातार बैठना. आजकल मूवीज भी उतनी लंबी नहीं आती. Right? बैंक CAT का सिलेबस कितना सिमिलर है? अक्षांश, on a scale of 1 to 10, if I say CAT level of difficulty, ठीक है? If I say CAT is somewhere around 8, 7 or 8, okay, then banking exams are at a level of 4, around 4. Okay, I don't think more than 4 will be good. I will say 4 or less, because banking questions are very, very straightforward. When you are preparing for CAT, there are 3 levels of difficulties: level 1, level 2, level 3. Easy, moderate, difficult. तो CAT में जहां easy खत्म होता है, CAT में जहां easy शुरू होता है, okay, the point where easy level of difficulty of CAT starts questions, that's where banking stops. So banking में उसके ऊपर नहीं जाता, ठीक है. Reason being, banking exams, they are more accuracy and speed based exams. CAT, it's not speed, it's accuracy only. जो करो सही करो. Banking में जल्दी भी करना है, सही भी करना है. And if the level of CAT comes in banking, you won't be able to solve questions easily because questions are relatively difficult. ठीक है? Last 2 months, what you're going to do? Of course, you will not have much time left to actually start with a new concept if you haven't done them till date. So you will be writing down sectionals and solving sectionals, attempting mocks every now and then, doing a lot of analysis, solving previous year questions. तो ये सब करना है, okay? And 1 mock per week तो ये तो चालू रहेगा. Some people, they are done with the entire syllabus by that time. Entire syllabus मतलब जितना possible है. And then they write 3 mocks in a week. Because they don't have any concept to do. New thing पढ़ना नहीं है. It's only the strategy and, getting used to sitting for 2 hours and writing exam, shuffling between level of difficulty of the same paper. इसकी आदत डालनी पड़ती है. Okay. Last part. Let's look at certain actual CAT questions and see how we can solve them. So Arun's present age in years is 40% of Barun's. In another few years, Arun's age will be half of Barun's. By what percentage will Barun's age increase during this period? Now, this is a question on percentage topic. How do I know? क्योंकि इधर को percentage दिख रहा है. Common sense से पता चल जाता है. ठीक है? You don't have to be a master in percentage topic to understand this part at least. Second is, if you read the question, there is no number. Do you see 2 years, 5 years, 7 years? कुछ नहीं. Whatever number is there, it is associated with percentage. So in such questions of percentage, there is a very straightforward, simpler approach. The approach being, assume कर लो आप. Answer आ जाता है. So it says Arun's present age and Barun's present age. If Barun's present age is, let's say, 100 years, don't assume that Arun and Barun are people. Arun and Barun are name of the turtles. So Barun can be 100 years old. So if Barun's age is 100 years, then Arun's age will be 40% of that. That is 40 years. First statement done. In another few years, how many years? नहीं पता. देख लेंगे. Arun's age will be half of Barun's. So how much what number shall I write so that after adding the same value, whatever number here it is, it's going to be half of that. As in, if this is n, then the other side it's 2n. मतलब Barun का जो भी age होगा उसका half होगा. So what shall I write there? Don't think of difficult values. Can I add 10 to both? If I add 10 years later, suppose अगर मैंने बोला 10 years later Arun's age will be 50, it will be 110. Is it half? No. So 10 doesn't work out. 20 years later, this is going to be 60 years and this is going to be 120 years. Arey wah. Makes sense? So 20 years later, that's going to happen. Now question is, by what percentage will Barun's age increase in this period? So his age increases by 20 years from 40 years. कितना percentage increase है? As in 20 is what percentage of 40? So 20 is this much percentage of 40, which is half, and half is nothing but 50%. और ये मेरा आंसर हो जाएगा. So आप 50 लिखोगे इधर. If I take comparison 110 and 55, then for Barun it was 10 years, but for Arun it was only 5 years, 15 years, right? So it should be same for both, right? The increase, because both are going to age those many years. It won't happen something for Varun, it won't happen something else for Arun, right? Okay. So if question was on based on Arun, this is what we will be doing. Question में Arun नहीं पूछा है. Question में they have asked us Varun, right? So for Varun, what we are going to calculate? How we are going to calculate? Varun है ना? So Varun's age increases 20 years on 100 years. So we can say 20 out of 100, and 20 out of 100 is nothing but 20%. So you are going to write 20 here. Okay. So 20 becomes our answer. So you have to be careful as to what is asked. Before I calculated for Arun and then I realized it Arun ka nahi hai, Varun pucha. So 20 will become our answer. Let's try one more question. Another question of percentage. The number of girls appearing for an admission test is twice the number of boys. If 30% of the girls and 45% of the boys get admission, the percentage of candidates who do not get admission is. Same question as the previous one, logically. Why? Because the percentage, only thing is given, there is no numerical value given. So again, what is the logic? Assumption. Assume kar lo. So can we say that we can assume that total students are 100? Let's say candidates, not students. There are 100 candidates. The number of girls appearing for admission test is twice the number of boys. Achha. So if I take 100, boys X hai to girls, to 100 pe it won't work. So let's take, let's start from the other way around. Suppose there are 10 boys, then there are going to be 20 girls. So let's take this as 100 boys and 200 girls. To make the calculation easier, that means there are 300 candidates. Now, if 30% of the girls, 30% of 200, that is 60 girls, and 45% of the boys, 45% of 100, that is 45 boys, they get admission. So how many people get admission here? This is a total of 105 people who get admission. So if out of 300, 105 people get admission, so can I say the remaining 195 didn't get admission? 195 plus 105 is 300. So question asked is percentage of candidates who do not get admission. So 195 out of 300, right? So if you solve this, you will get 65%. So if you are supposed to solve 40 questions overall in 120 minutes, the amount of time you need to spend per question is on an average 3. Are we taking 3 minutes? No. So actually yahi hota hai. The difference between your process or your approach will be little different from mine because I have nothing to lose. So I'm more chill and relaxed. That's why I'm going to be faster. You are going to be a little bit panicky. So it will slow you down while solving the questions. Okay. One second, let me check. If you guys have any query. Harshad says, in DILR, if there is not given whether it is to immediate right or left and only given A sits beside B, then what does it mean? Harshad, beside word, when is it used? It's used when we're talking about right next, no? I believe you wanted to ask if it is given in an LR question that A sits to the left of B. If A sits to the left of B, it doesn't mean immediate left. Left में कहीं भी हो सकता है. Unless and until they don't write immediate left, sit next to, is a neighbor of, beside, if they don't use these words or phrases, it will never mean बाजू में, it will mean कहीं भी. Okay. So 65 is the answer. Next, a man leaves his home and walks at a speed of 12 km per hour. So it's a TSD question. So while you're reading the question, you get to know which topic is it from, and from that topic we have got certain shortcuts, some formulae, some concepts involved. तो वो straight away दिमाग में आना चाहिए. You can forget about everything else. Forget about geometry, numbers, logic. केवल ये करना है. TSD. Reaching the railway station 10 minutes after the train had departed. Instead, if he had walked at a speed of 15 km per hour, he would have reached station 10 minutes before train's departure. The distance from his home to railway station is. So this is a question of TSD, and the concept used is proportionality. How do I know and how do you know? Well, if you attend our sessions, you will realize that this is a topic we do very extensively. When distance is constant, time and speed are inversely proportional. ये होता है. How do I know distance is constant? Because I just read, and he leaves his home and reaches the railway station in two scenarios. So as per the question, what happens is, this is his home and he reaches the railway station. If he walks at the speed of 12 km per hour, he reaches 10 minutes after the train had departed. So he takes 10 more minutes, plus 10 minutes. If he had walked at the speed of 15 km per hour, he would have reached the station 10 minutes before the train's departure. ठीक है, तो इसको अपन t plus 10 और t minus 10 ले सकते हैं. Though it's not necessary for you to use variable and equations. Now, what happens is, in questions of TSD, whenever distance is constant, we say that speed and time are inversely proportional. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? It means the ratio of the speed here, 12 and 15, is 4:5. That means the ratio of time that we see here will be 5/4. ये मतलब होता है inverse. Inverse मतलब उल्टा कर दो. 4/5 will become 5/4. Okay, reciprocal. So we can say that t plus 10 divided by t minus 10 is equal to 5/4. If we can cross multiply and solve, and थोड़ा सा लॉजिक लगाओगे तो भी सॉल्व हो जाएगा. कंपेयर कर रहे हैं बस. This can I write this as 90 plus 10, and I can write this as 90 minus 10. And if I compare, I will realize that time is 90 minutes. 90 minutes is nothing but 1.5 hours. Right? So question asks is, what is the distance from home to railway station? Well, when I'm moving at the speed of 12, okay, and t is 90, right? 90 plus 10, that is 100 minutes. 12 की speed से 100 minutes चलते हैं. So can we say this is the total distance we'll be able to cover? So 12 into 5 is 60, 100 by 5 is 20. So 20 kilometers should be my answer. And 20 is what I am going to type. Or what I can take is, I can take 15 km per hour wala number, and I can write 80. 15 into 80 by 60. That will also give me the same answer. Right? Same logic, doesn't matter okay, which one I take. Whether I take the scenario where the speed was 12 or whether I take the scenario where the speed was 15. Okay. 20 is the answer. Okay. One more question. Ravi invests 50% of his monthly savings in fixed deposits. It's a question, it's a topic from percentage. Invests, fixed deposit. This is SICI logic. 30% of the rest of his savings is invested in stocks, and the rest goes into Ravi's savings bank account. If the total amount deposited by him in the bank for savings account and fixed deposits is 59,500, then Ravi's monthly savings. Okay. Now this is a question which is based on percentage, but there is no SI or CI or interest that you need to calculate. So It looked like SICI, but we'll backtrack and say नहीं है, आगे नहीं था कुछ भी. It's a basic question on percentage. We see percentage, we see percentage, we see rest मतलब remaining percentage, and we see the final value. When you have a question on percentage where percentage is given and then the final value is given, in such questions also, the standard approach is assume kar lo, koi bhi number. So I will assume that his monthly savings is, monthly savings ही पूछ रहे हैं ना. So I will assume that his monthly savings is rupees 1000. 1000 नहीं करना है तो 100 कर लेते हैं, ठीक है, to make the calculation easier. Now what he does is he invests 50% of his monthly savings, 50% in fixed deposits. FD कर देता है वो, कितना? 50 rupees. Rest 50 rupees. 30% of the rest of his savings. Now 30% of this rupees 50. 30% of rupees 50 is going to be 15, right? Stocks में देता है. So I'll write down the entire thing. 30% in stocks, which is going to give me rupees 15. Okay, let me check if it's visible. It's visible so far. So 15 and 15 is 65. So rest matlab rest is 35 rupees. It goes in savings bank account. I hope you guys are able to understand what SBA is, right? So isko SBA pehle likhta hu, and that is rupees 35. Savings bank account is SBA. Now the question further says if the total amount deposited by him in the bank, savings account and fixed deposit, ये दोनों 85 है. As per our assumption, whatever value we started with, as per our calculation, the total amount deposited by him in the bank is rupees 85. But in the question it is given as 59,500. So how many times is this? कितने से multiply करें so that 85 becomes 59,500? That is going to decide as to what the multiplier for the entire question is going to be. So calculation is not going to be that difficult. 8 into 8 चलेगा क्या? 8 into 8? 8 into 8 का पहला digit 6 होता है, नहीं चलेगा. Okay. 8 into 7 चलेगा क्या? 8 into 7 is 56. It says 59 at the beginning. बिल्कुल चलेगा. So let's try 85 into 7. 80 into 7 is 56. 7 into 5 is 35. So this is 595. And we do have two zeros. So can I say 700 times हो रहा है? If this is getting 700 times, that means everything is getting 700 times. ये करते हैं percentage के इस तरह के questions में. You take a sample value, you solve, you get an answer, you compare it with the actual answer given in the question. How many times it is? Make everything same number of times. As in his monthly saving is going to be 700 times of 100. The amount he is going to deposit in FD is going to be 700 into 50, 700 into 15 in stock, 700 into 35 in SBA. Question में पूछा क्या है? Monthly savings कितना है? Monthly savings is 700 into 100. That is 700 into 100 means 2 more zeros. 70,000 is the answer. Since this is also a theta question, we'll have to type in 70,000. That's what it is. So while reading the question, you get an idea which topic is it from. It is from, and then you also get to know कि what is the approach. ठीक है? Through standards approaches in सबके. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope today's session was beneficial. You must have learned something. You must have known something about what your target is going to be next year, November, CAT exam day. Okay, please make sure that you like and subscribe. Okay, that is the only reason why we do all of this, just for the likes and subscribe, because the more likes we get more enthusiastic to bring in more content, right? So for people who are targeting this year ZAT, for you we are bringing 100 most expected questions for ZAT 2023. We're going to cover the entire syllabus, previous year papers, and we will also do tricks like we did today. It started from 26th December. It happens every day at 12 p.m., 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So I believe it was happening parallel to this session, and it will again happen at 3. Make sure that you watch this. Okay, it's available there on your app. You can download the app from Google Play. The link is given in the description below, and you can watch them on YouTube as well. And people who are targeting next year CAT, you can get in touch with us. All you have to do is download our app, and when you download the app and you put in your details, and if you show interest in a certain particular product, for example CAT, then the counselor is going to help you out with it. Some executive will definitely call you. Okay. So what do you get from our side in our CAT 2023 comprehensive program? You are given a learning tablet which will have more than 300 videos. So the tablet is a part of the program. Okay. You will get live classroom sessions with serial 99 percentilers. All the faculties that teach for CAT here at BYJU'S, all are serial 99 percentilers. For example, if I talk about last 3 years, including CAT 2022, so my percentile was 99.93, 99.99 and 99.96 this year. So it has been 99.9 plus every year. Okay. And if I talk about previous years also, this is true. And it's not only for CAT, it has been for ZAT. And in our section, we make sure that we get at least 99.9 percentile. So in Quant and LRDI, I got 100 percentile in both the sections last year. This year, I have got 99.99 in Quant and 99.1 in LRDI. Okay. Make sure that you do, you will also get mock test and practice test, which is 75 plus mocks. You get more than 10,000 practice questions. You get more than 300, engaging videos. So if you add all of these, you'll get around 1,000 videos. Okay. Not all the videos are there because you also get video solutions of the mocks and the questions. You will be given books wherein you can study your VARC, QA and LRDI. GDPI and VAT is also, these sessions are also given. Wherein you will have 12 recorded lectures and 3 live sessions as to what questions you should expect in your personal interviews, what is writing ability test, that's what WAT stands for. If there is a group discussion, how should you start, how should you proceed, when points are given, when points are deducted. Okay. And of course, you will be given study notes and the PDFs. Everything that we write, the faculties write, that is saved as the notes for the students. So you don't have to write the notes again. So it saves time. So thank you everyone. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well. Make sure that you like and subscribe this video. And if you have any doubt, you can join our Telegram channel, which is BYJU'S MBA Doubts. And you can download our app from Google Play. Thanks for joining. Take care. Arjun, what is the good score for 99 percentile for CAT 23? Arjun, for a 99 percentile, I believe you should go through the video. We have discussed that. So if you're talking about an overall, so your score should be around 97. For a 99 percentile, your score should be around 95 to 100. So ये एक range है to get a 99 percentile. Okay. And thank you, Arshad. Okay, bye-bye. Take care.